motorcycle market in 2025 is in a strange place. While some models have waiting lists stretching for months, others are quietly gathering dust in the back of showrooms. Dealers across North America and Canada are facing a growing problem: overstock of bikes that on paper should be legends, but in reality they just aren't moving. Today, we are diving deep into the showroom floors to find the 10 motorcycles that are currently rotting at dealerships. And we'll explore the real reasons why riders are looking the other way. Welcome to Ride Hub. Let's get into the countdown. At number 10, we have a modern masterpiece of retro design: the Kawasaki Z900 RS Cafe. It's a beautiful tribute to the legendary Z1 of the 1970s, complete with the iconic lime green livery and classic cafe-style bikini cowl. But here's the problem: the cafe styling is extremely polarizing. While the standard Z900 RS sells reasonably well, the cafe version often sits for months. Younger riders find it too old school, while older riders usually prefer the more comfortable ergonomics of the standard model. It's a brilliant machine, but in many dealerships, it has become a long-term resident. The Triumph Speed Twin 1200 is easily one of the best-looking modern classics on the market. It's elegant, fast, and beautifully refined. However, in 2025, dealers are struggling to move these bikes due to internal competition. Most buyers walking into a Triumph showroom are either choosing the more affordable 400 cubic centimeters lineup or jumping straight to the high-spec Thruxton. The Speed Twin sits awkwardly in the middle, a segment many buyers are skipping entirely, leaving brand new units unsold. At number 8, we have the ultimate American luxury cruiser, the Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. It's a rolling palace of chrome, carbon fiber, and premium finishes. But there's one massive issue: the price. With an MSRP that rivals a luxury SUV, even loyal Harley riders are being priced out. In 2025, high interest rates across the US and Canada have made financing these premium touring bikes harder than ever. The result? Stunning CVO Road Glide spending far more time on showroom floors than on the open road. KTM's The Beast is more powerful than ever. The 1390 Super Duke R Evo is pure industrial aggression on two wheels. But that aggression is also its weakness. The design has become so extreme, so sharp and alien, that it's intimidating average riders. Dealers report that people love to look at it, but when it's time to buy, they choose more civilized naked bikes for daily use. It's simply too much motorcycle for most riders, and inventory levels are starting to reflect that. The Honda Fireblade is a track legend, and the 2025 SP is the most advanced Honda superbike ever built. But let's be honest, this bike is designed for the racetrack, not the street. The riding position is extreme, and the power is inaccessible for most real-world riders. In North America, where comfort and versatility matter more, buyers are choosing the standard CBR 1000RR or even adventure bikes like the Africa Twin. As a result, these 200 horsepower monsters often sit unsold for entire seasons. BMW's massive 2,000 cubic centimeters Big Boxer, seen in limited production and select markets, is a mechanical work of art, but it's also an extremely niche product. It's huge, heavy, and very expensive, while it serves as a powerful halo bike to draw attention into BMW showrooms. Actual sales remain low. This is a motorcycle for collectors, not commuters. Once early enthusiasts buy theirs, remaining units tend to sit, waiting for that one specific buyer who wants a 2-liter engine between their legs. Aprilia builds what many consider the best handling superbike in the world. The RSV4 factory is basically a MotoGP bike with headlights. But outside major cities, Aprilia's dealer network in the US and Canada is thin. Many riders hesitate to buy a high-performance Italian superbike when service centers are hours away. This lack of dealer support leaves beautiful RSV4s sitting in showrooms while buyers play it safe with Japanese alternatives. This is motorcycle art, pure and simple. At this price point, you're not really buying a motorcycle. You're buying a museum piece. The Superveloce 1000 Oro is so rare and so expensive that dealers are cautious about selling it, and buyers are afraid to actually ride it. It's a bike destined to sit, first in a dealership, then in a climate-controlled private garage. Stunning? Absolutely. A high-volume seller? Not even close. The Yamaha R9 was one of the most anticipated motorcycles of the year, the long-awaited successor to the R6. But here's the irony. Because everyone was waiting for it, many dealers overordered. Now that the hype has settled, riders are realizing this isn't a hardcore race bike, like the old R6. It's an excellent street-focused sport bike, but track purists are staying away, while street riders find it expensive compared to the MT-09. The result? Unexpected inventory levels sitting on dealership floors. And finally, number 1, the king of Overstock. The Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. On paper, this bike should dominate. It has a great engine, a trusted brand, and competitive pricing. But the middleweight adventure segment has become brutally competitive. Yamaha, Kawasaki, and even Suzuki, with the V-Strom 800, offer stronger alternatives. Many riders feel the Tiger 660 is simply a bit too soft. As a result, dealers are stuck with both 2024 and 2025 models offering heavy incentives just to move them. At the end of the day, a motorcycle sitting at a dealership doesn't mean it's a bad bike. Most of the time, it just means the market has shifted, or the price doesn't match the value for the average rider. But for buyers, this creates opportunity. Unsold bikes mean better deals and more room to negotiate. Which one of these would you take home if the price was right? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Ride Hub for more deep dives into the world of two wheels. Ride safe.